And we are here at Phoenix for the fourth race of the NAPA Sim season. Phoenix, one of the more unique tracks on the schedule, and these drivers are here for race 4 of the season. 110 laps at this racetrack, 41 drivers. It's going to be a good one. Max starting on the pole next to Typical. We now head to commentator Mac here in the booth. We headed this track not knowing what to expect, but after 3 races so far this season, we've had a lot of chaos. How do you expect this race to go?
I expect it to be calmer, but we may have a little bit of an insane start because of the pole sitter, which is the number 9 of Magnus's first pole in over a season. His last pole was at the Los Angeles Super Speedway in the last race of the season 4 regular season. So it's been a while since he's been here starting up front here in this grid and leading off the field. And well, we've seen this place is never too crazy in the cup races, but you can't never say never with these field of drivers. I expect a good race today, and I think a calm race.
Yeah, and another part of this racetrack that is so chaotic is the restarts, of course, because of the dogleg going 4, 5 wide into the corners. These drivers do everything to get track position solely because it is so hard to pass at this racetrack. This is one of the most treacherous racetracks and the hardest to pass at. So these drivers grab everything on the restart. You'll see that high line work really well on the restarts due to everyone stacking up on the bottom lane. But as this race goes on, you'll definitely see that bottom lane be the preferred lane during the long runs. But on the short runs, if you run that high lane, you can grab a lot of spots so that everyone's stacking up on the bottom. But without further ado, we are ready to get into the starting grid for today's race. And in row 1, we have Mac back on the pole once again. He's next to Typical, a familiar face near the front. And in row 2, we have 2 drivers that had a pretty solid qualifying effort. Cam and FXN, 2 drivers that really need as they have had a slightly rough start to begin their year. Row 3, how about SM and Internet? SM already has a win, but don't forget he has won at Phoenix before, next to Internet in the 36. Row 4, we have Garrett and Bot. And back to row 5, we have Dylan and Vixterity.
Row 6, we've got Ty and Riley Davis Jr. finally sporting that purple Keen Parts car for the first time this season. Then we're going to go to row 7. We have Peyton and the 25 of Chase, another impressive effort in that machine. Row 8, we have Slash and Mythical. Then in row 9, 2 surprise faces in this position of the 52 of Mike and the 89 of Sup NASCAR. And then rounding out our top 20 is going to be Dan and Chasey Man.
Let's go back to row 11. 2 drivers slightly further back in the field. Discord Bot and Commander, who already has 2 wins this season. Then back to row 12, New and Meme. Row 13, Stu next to Wayside. And row 14, Anna Kate in Montana. Then back to row 15. That's our points leader, Hyman Antioter, deep in the field next to Junior.
Then following them, we've got Kermit and Avery in row 16. Row 17, we have JJO and Matthew. Row 18, we got Santa and Jacob. Then in row 19, we have Jack and Doug. Row 20 is Isolated and NASCAR Sim, and rounding out the field is Nexus Code.
Yep, 41 drivers. We are ready to go here at Phoenix for 110 laps.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the field will roll off here. As field already in the turns, an odd start to line up here. The pace car will already pull in, but these drivers got another straightaway before we go green. It will be Mac leading this field down the green with Typical behind him. 2 drivers, one has not seen the front very often, but one who's been in the front almost every race this season. How is this start going to go here as we come off turn 3 and into turn 4, into the restart zone? Mac, Typical, will lead this field to green. We are underway at Phoenix.
Looks like Max gonna get the quick jump on that 23, clearing him, and Cam might do so as well. Oh, Cam might just look to the inside of the 9. Oh, bad turn 2 though. Maybe just a little too ambitious of a move.
Tries to jump to the bottom. Mac will cover. And Mac will get his first lap lead of the year. Good start for Mac just to simply get in front of the field. That's what he's doing. Now he can set the pace, but I'm curious how quick some of these drivers that have been quicker than him to start this year are going to instantly pounce trying to get by him. Typical right there on his bumper already. His drivers slide up the racetrack here. It's going to be a mess at the start of this race.
Yeah, look at the surging Riley Davis Jr. on the outside. Might actually get by the 51 here before things are said and done. Yeah, we have an absolute mess in this mid-pack as we have some faster guys that didn't qualify will try to make their way through.
Yeah, that's Peyton 3 wide. Dan trying to move forward. How about Stu looking 4 wide here early in this race? Got to get track position while he can. Chase drives Mythical up the track. Kind of an alliance, not really a teammate, but these two cars are working under the same team practically. Mythical stuck on that high lane in 3 or 4, not where you want to be. A few drivers will clear this group like Discord bots. Stu trying to look under, but all these drivers know early on that they have to get these passes right away before this field gets strung out.
Yes, he slashed them down to the inside of the 2.
That's Peyton there. Can't get the spot slash. Peyton will stay ahead. Dylan and Mike trying to now move forward. Ty hanging in the top 10 early. No, Riley Davis Jr. actually is in that top 10 spot now. SM slides up the racetrack. He will lose a few positions here. As back here, Typical's now losing a few spots. FXN up to second. How about Internet looking 3 wide?
Yeah, looking 3 wide for that 3rd position. Internet last season did get his win early in the season. He did in Gateway. He did very well at Phoenix too, I believe. So, at least the first date. Yeah, he had a 5th place here last season. Track he's been pretty good at. So, I mean, the history is there. Maybe Internet can finally get himself into the win column once more this season. As Garrett's gonna take a 3 wide on Vixterity and Garrett a little bit further back. Garrett bought my bad.
Yeah, but you saw Garrett had to get out of the gas there, almost made contact with the 99, and it is so hard to pass down in that dog lane off turn 2 because there is so little grip. If you slide up into another car, you're going to cause an accident. These drivers are very aware of that and being cautious early on, but later, I don't think Garrett would be that cautious. I think he would make that move as FXN's still creeping, but Mac's been able to hold his own so far. Kind of, I think, holding up a few cars. You see how close together everyone is, but Mac playing some good defense early on, staying out front.
Yeah, and he can definitely do this for a while, but we're in the game today here. And we still have some guys trying to make their way through the field as go all the way back there to the 98 isolated in last. And here comes the move now, I think. FXN and Mac side by side off the exit of 2. FXN's got the nose ahead here coming into 3 and 4. Matt gets it back, good run in the entry of 3. FXN still side by side, and they're still side by side here. Now Cam has a chance to maybe pounce. FXN got the lap. See if he can fully complete the pass. No, he can't. These two still side by side, and now Cam is going to get the door opened on him by Typical. Typical to the inside now of the 15. But Mac's going to get a huge off the exit of 2, and he's going to hold the lead.
Yeah, Cam gave Mac a little bump draft there down the back straightaway. It'll help the 9, but it won't help the 15. He's now top of 3 in the 3 and 4. They were side by side, multiple rows for the lead, and just, man, these guys are going forward early on here. Look at this mess. 10 laps into the race. Everyone's going for it. How about Vixterity sticking his nose under Bot in the 4, but he's going to not get a good exit. Mac defending for the lead, but he might be holding up a lot of cars that are trying to get by, but Mac doing a superb job keeping the lead so far.
Yeah, Typical now back in P2. Obviously, Typical had the breakout year last year. Now, Typical's been here since Season 1. He did have a gap year in Season 3, but other than that, he's basically been here every single season. And you very rarely see a veteran like him have a breakout year that late into their career. But that's exactly what happened. He picked up 4 wins, 3 on road courses, then 1 on an oval at Michigan. Don't think he's just a one-trick pony. He can win on these ovals too. And he's shown some great speed on these ovals early on. And I think he will get at least 1 oval win this year to supplant those road course wins that we will likely see him get.
Yeah, FXN also very, very rough start to his year. Just got a top 10 at a wreck-filled Texas race. But even in that Texas race was not on pace that well. And it's been an odd start to his year, filled with wrecks and just slow race cars. But qualified well, was able to get a lap lead earlier, and is now fighting with these guys up to second once again. But again, needs to try and get by that 9 car. This might be the race where FXN finally turns up and shows the speed that he had all of last season.
Yeah, and FXN, you talk with him maybe just early on, maybe you talk with him, maybe sophomore slump, but you know, he had a almost a basically historical second half of the year where he ripped off double-digit top 5 in the last about 20 races of the season, which is something absolutely unprecedented for anybody, but especially for a rookie. We all know his story, and now he's going to look to the inside of the number 9 Mac here, but he is definitely not going to get exit. Typical, though, in optimal line, almost hooked that double zero.
Oh, wow.
FXN deep set into 3 and 4.
That was a great corner by FXN, but an even better one from Internet. How about Internet jumping 3 wide under? Looking for the lead. Internet out of nowhere, surging into the scene. He has a great run on Mac. Will clear FXN, and getting hold surge with Mac has been so hard to hold that bottom. You'll see him struggle a bit there, but I mean, this pack all the way back to the bottom half of like the top 20, all right on each other. I'm not sure if this is because of the 9 car maybe holding these guys up, but either way, no one can shake each other. 16 laps in and everyone's right on each other. FXM puts a big block on Typical and SM. 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah, I think Cam might get it here, but here comes Mac running the outside of 2. Still side by side here to 3 and 4. Is Internet going to go for the move on Cam? No, he's going to push Cam past that number 9 and to lead.
I think Internet kind of peeked at a move. Cam covered. Internet didn't want to risk it. But now he will get to the bottom. Now Mac jumps back under Cam in the 15. What speed we've seen out of Internet this season. Speed that he lacked quite a bit of last season. He is showing a lot of early in this season, right up there in the points. Though, of course, got into an issue just last week in Texas, but we have seen speed out of him all year. He'll get a left blood, but now SM looking for it. Everyone wants a taste of the lead.
Yeah, no, guys, Cam is having an incredibly slow start. DNF in Daytona, a bad finish, checks after wreck. Oh, and everyone's checked him, and SM's gonna slide right through. Oh, contact with Internet.
Put the slide job. Drove it in, cleared him, and Internet gave him a little bump showing, hey, I didn't appreciate that. It's early in this race that we could probably get away with it. I think Bot just got the bumper, too, from Typical. No one can shake each other. 19 laps in, and this is the complete opposite of the Phoenix that we are used to. Look at this, all the way back to Discord Bot in 20th place. We have a group of cars all within a few seconds of each other. Oh my goodness, we are all over the place. 4 wide at Phoenix.
Yes, they can keep it together in turn 3. They're trying to keep it together in turn 3, but man, I don't see how much longer they can keep this going. And SM in front, now Mac back in the second, past that 36 Internet, further on back, and now Mythical and Dan looking at the bottom, trying to clear everybody in this group. But that's going to be a very hard task. We are 3 by 3 here in Phoenix.
Oh my goodness. It took until race 4 to get to our first short track of the year. The first 3 races, Super Speedway, 2 intermediates, 3 racetracks where you could see similar racing like this. But Phoenix did not have this on my bingo card. Commander's moving forward. Payton's still in the game. Riley Davis Jr. is there. I see Stu in the first group. There are drivers everywhere that are taking advantage of the chaos early on. And how about this top 4? SM, Mac, Internet, and Cam. You don't see this every day.
Yeah, SM, as previously mentioned in the pre-race, he has a win here in Phoenix this season, back in the season from the last race before the pandemic eventually cut that season short. But, I mean, a second win for SM would be fantastic. He showed some race-winning speed, especially towards the back end of last year, having some great runs at Martinsville and Texas particularly.
Oh!
We got a car around. Junior hard into the wall.
Oh,
watch out! Oh, Neve got a piece. Oh, and one of the Dawson cars hit him too.
Oh, we're still getting into it here.
Avery.
Oh!
Violent hit from Meme into the pit barrier.
Oh my goodness. Meme will drive it back to pit road. And we have had a violent accident. Phoenix, which Dawson car is this? That's the 31 NASCAR sim, I believe, yeah. Oh man. What in the world has just happened? Junior involved. He got turned from someone into the wall and back down the racetrack, got into multiple cars. We gotta take a look at how this started.
Take a look what happens here. JJO comes up, the Junior comes down, and it's a simple incident. It always results in a wreck, and then Meme gets clipped, and the 31 and NASCAR sim also gets clipped here. You see here as these damaged cars try to make their way to pit road. The 83 Avery kind of gets trapped. Doesn't have an idea what's happening. Spins out. Meme violent hit into the pit barriers as that's happening. That's not his first taste of pit road barrels. We saw that in Michigan. He did get injured from that last season. We'll have to make sure he's okay. Then the 83 gets beached there in the pit road barrels as well.
Yeah. We'll get on board of someone a bit further back. I think Montana did a great job avoiding it for once. For once, he avoids an accident. We'll do on board with Montana. Oh my god. Montana, man, you gotta lock in, dude. This is a tough sight to see. Montana, you gotta lock in, dude. This is a tough sight to look at. Why are you letting this happen, buddy? What is happening? This is a tough sight to see. Oh my god, that's even worse. Buddy, you gotta lock in, Santa. But Montana, you're in equipment that can run at least with this group here. Come on, man. Do better. But you did avoid the wreck, so we'll go on board with Montana. On board with Montana. Good of a wreck avoidance as you can have right there. Montana's had a rough start to his year, but he survived that one. He'll still be in the race. We'll be back for the restart. We're ready to go back green. It'll be lap 28 when we hit the line. Single file restart is mandated by NAPA Sim officials for this restart. And back to the gears they go. SM leading the field back to the green.
Good start there for those two Summit machines. Never mind, but Mac beaches it in turn in the top of 1 and 2. And now Cam might have a surge on the inside here off the exit of 2 as he split the middle 3 wide with Internet and Garrett. Cam, deep drive in, and he just might have the spot here. Look at another Summit car, Mythical coming from the mid-pack. He's gotten up into the top 5 for the first time today.
Yeah, we've seen Vixterity in this top 10 as well, so all 4 Sunbelt cars putting up a show today. We've even seen Chase. He had a good qualifying effort. He drifted back slightly, but still, great performance at a track that hasn't been amazing for this group. This is the strongest I've seen him since, what was it, Kansas or Kentucky? I think Kentucky last season. It has been rough going for him for a while, but won the pole, and he has not drifted back. He has stayed up here and made his presence felt since the start of this race. And while he has lost the lead, he is hanging in and looking for a top 5, top 10 day, which would be much needed for him. Has a lot of momentum going as well after his top 10 at Texas, but he needs some more.
Yeah, see, you guys got the battle and turn on back. I like Peyton, man. That makes sense about that spot. Now Peyton obviously now in the O2. Part of the big organizational shift at Alberto that actually happened a little bit early at the tail of the last season because Bug ended up getting injured at Texas. And this is kind of a new start for Peyton, who after his breakout season 2 kind of struggled ever since then. This is basically a fresh new opportunity here. And so far right now in Phoenix, taking the most of that opportunity.
Yeah, new look for that Nintendo scheme. This year, it's no longer Sega a part of the Nintendo sponsor. It is Sonic Mania, so a new color scheme on this car, entirely new look this season, and it's running well up here. Gonna grab that 10th spot around FXN. Could get 9th as well if he can clear Typical. He will. Typical had a bad corner. Peyton right up there to 9th as SM's drifted back to third. Cam back to the lead. How about the 15 of Cam? Best run he's had all year.
Yeah, Cam, he had a great first half of season 5. He dropped off after that, and he's not had a good start to this season at all, especially for a driver like him, being teammates with basically the best driver on the grid, too. And so, he's not met his standards at all, really anybody's standards, so, and I think a win could really help get him back on track.
Yeah, he has outran his teammate all race long, something that you almost never see. Dan's usually always the top one of the bunch, but Cam wants to say, hey, do not count me out. I can still outrun my fellow friend at times, and Dan is running in that 6th position up in the top 10 for the first time today, but again, damn, he has showed a lot of speed today. Started from qualifying, and familiar look. Jacob Company's been a part of this team for a few seasons now. Familiar look in this 15. The first time it's ran this season, and looking great up front as teammates battle for second.
Yeah, kind of no shock here, but look at Garrett kind of resurging, defending winner at this place. He won here back-to-back with the Atlanta win at the start of season 5, and well, Garrett hasn't really replicated that red-hot start he had. He has started kind of warming up. He did get a top 5 in Texas, and he was a front runner most of the day. He was in that battle for lead at the end. And this would be a great place to score his first win of the season. The track that he won at last season.
Oh, Mythical drives under Garrett. I think Garrett tried to get under Mac, but Mythical made the move first. Sunbelt puts himself in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Now Dan might creep for a top 5 spot. Won't do it. How about Stu? 13th place. What a start for this car. We haven't really seen Stu practically at all this season. Had a good run at Daytona, but of course has announced that this is practically his retirement tour. Last year full time, and 2nd race of that announcement, and seeing some speed here. Top 15. Great run. Last week it was Junior for this team. Now Stu's the one having himself a great day.
Yeah, as he's battling Ty there. Ty having a decent run in that 56 machine. You got Lou Wood pretty wide again up front. SM getting shafted out of the line. I think right now SM might be just the slowest of this big group of guys. Mac back up the 2nd, defending his teammate Mythical. And now Garrett's getting to be the one shuffling that way outside.
It is just chaos all throughout this field. Look at his move from internet. He is turning into the corner before the corner even comes up. Driving under the 40 above. Oh, baby. Oh, my goodness. These guys are getting way too comfortable off of turn 2. How that wasn't an accident, I have no clue. They were 3 wide and 4 wide. Every car was making contact. And everyone came out okay. And this is right around the outskirts of the top 5. And the top 10. How about this move from Stu? He's looking 3 wide, trying to get himself almost into the top 10. Can't get it on entry. Peyton in the top 10, having a great day, but Cam still in control as it is chaos all throughout this field. And even we go slightly further back, it is chaos back here as well. Discord bot's been fading. Ivan Antioder hasn't moved very much. Chase as well, and New also having a poor day.
Yeah, it's lots of movement happening throughout the field. Maybe something you don't really see at this track or really expect, but there is lots and lots of movement happening. But I do see that we are starting to file out, and if this stays true, they keep filing out, we can see this how interesting this race could get.
Yeah, well, cameras quickly pan to a few lap cars, most of them battling in the distance, but if we go green long enough, that will become an issue, and we haven't seen lap traffic yet, but with how much passing we have seen today, I'm not sure if it'll be much of an issue. Phoenix has been a track notorious, like I said in pre-race, for being quite iffy when it comes to passing, but of course, this being a new generation of car, it also means a new package for most races, and I mean, maybe this rules package is allowing for a lot easier opportunities to make passes. And how about Mac looking back for the lead? I mean, this is a car that has simply just dwindled throughout the last few seasons. Even though the driver been here for a while, we've also seen just dips in the car straight up as well. But Mac putting up an unreal performance today. He is back to the lead.
Yeah, what a great run for that 9 machine. Looking for his first win in the series since season 4 Talladega 2. A race that which he dominated, but now he's got the 2 Dan Motorsports cars right on his tail. Dan making an impressive resurgent effort. He qualified 19th, and now lap 45, he's at the P3 and had a shot at the lead.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna take too long before Dan got himself at the front, and now he is up there. Now both Cam and Mac are under pressure. I mean, Cam, I'm sure he wants to outrun his teammate, but Mac as well, he just wants to have a day where he just comes home with a really good result, and he has led the most laps he has led in quite a bit of time, definitely the most laps he's led this season, and putting up a great performance right now as now the field begins to simplify out a little bit. FXN kind of fades a little bit, but as you can see here, some drivers are trying to move through the field, but others are just dropping back. But Mac has been consistent at the front all day long and is holding off Cam and Dan right now, and Garrett also back and forth.
Yeah, I think we're slowly starting to see this pack break away as we see Dan make the move on Cam for second. He's going to probably have him cleared here coming to the straightaway. And see here, they're starting to break up now, kind of top 9, top 10 or so starting to break away.
Yeah, that was a good move from Dan to get right up into that second position. Now he has the lead in sight. Dan is a driver that always waits until the perfect moment to make his move, and not even halfway yet, but does he think, hey, if I can get to the lead right now, I can control this race? Is he the fastest car on the track? No, but I mean, he is one of those guys that, you know, he's not someone to lead a lot of laps, but he leads the most important laps. And right now, he is seeing how this field is slightly beginning to spread out a little bit. He may think, all right, this is my time to shine and maybe grab some positions.
Yeah, I think this top 8 looks like this top 8 or 9 looks like it's going to be the breakaway here. And the last tail, as typical, starting to lose this field. So the back end of this breakaway will be the O2 of Peyton. Looks like it'll be about 9 cars for the lead for the time being.
Slash having a decent run up into the 11th position. Last week was an anomaly for this team. Had no speed. There was a lot of engine teardowns after Texas due to just the severe issues that we saw in multiple drivers like Mythical. And simply just to put it, something just went wrong. There was just a miss with the setup. Some drivers, some teams just maybe tried to go too hard on a setup that is new to these guys with the new generation of car, and it just did not work out. But I think these drivers were a little bit more conservative this race. You don't see any drivers severely off the pace, but still an anomaly for a few drivers like Mythical and such. But they are both up inside the top 12 right now, and Mythical still has a chance here to grab this win. But Garrett under a lot of pressure, a lot right now. Mythical has not been able to see the lead yet today. But Dan is.
Yeah, meanwhile, the 2 Dan Motorsports cars have now gone 1, 2, and Dan is looking like he is building a gap already to these guys. Cam up the track.
Yeah, that is a scary sight to see Dan in the lead and also pulling away. That is a sight that you do not want to see, because he is a driver that once he gets in the clean air, he will not make a mistake. He will continue to log laps, and just slowly get that gap bigger. But we have seen today that just different to Phoenix in general, drivers are not getting away. Oh, Mac way up the racetrack. That's the first time we've seen him slip up today. Tried that way outside line. We saw it a few times in the Xfinity race, but he just can't get that way outside line to work. He can't really dive in the corner that well. We haven't seen too much tire wear. Everyone's still decently equal on lap time, so that was not going to work for Mac, and now he's going to slip back just a little bit into the grasp of Internet and Peyton.
Yeah, I think now kind of just the falling back that we all expected might be starting to happen, as but still a solid top 5, top 10 AM with a lot of laps led will be great for this organization.
They just got to keep this car under one piece, and they got a top 10 going, and I mean, just a great run again for all 4 cars. All 4 cars have been perfect today. There's the 99. He has drifted back quite a little bit, but, you know, having a great run when he needs it most, and that is Mac in that 9 car having himself a great run so far. And Still seeing Stu hang on. How about Annika jumping up, which is at the 13th position. Great run for her. Doing quite well so far, but back at the front, now it's the usual suspects running at the front. Here goes Garrett. Can't make a move work.
Yeah, and they are coming up to the car 98 of Isolated running unsponsored this race. Be one of the few times you see this car run unsponsored, but they are in fact running unsponsored this race.
Hasn't been very fast today. Off the pace, it seems. This is one of those teams that's kind of a hit or miss. Sometimes they'll run top 20, but sometimes they'll run bottom of the barrel. I guess this is one of those races where might have just missed the setup slightly. Isolated will be going to left down here in a second here. Still can't say enough about how great of a run Peyton is having up here in the top 10. He is hanging on really well, and now here comes, in my opinion, the first issue we're going to see here. These drivers going to have to get by a car that is well off the pace, and Isolated ran his line. Garrett has an opportunity. He will take it down to the bottom.
Dan's going to split the middle. Aggressive move, try to hold that lead. They're both, him and the 98 are up the track, but he's not going to hold the lead. Garrett's going to get a defending winner of this day.
Yeah, he ran the 98 way wide, trying to keep that spot, and it just didn't really work out for Dan. And he will fall back into the clutches of Cam and Mythical back to 4th, and oh, what a move right there. Oh my goodness, he braked early and just drove it in. That is a power move from the 97. He will get by his teammate for now, can't clear, but what a great move there, and just setting himself up well here for this next set of corners. But Cam will shut the door on him. Oh no! And around goes Mac! Around off someone! I am not sure what happened there, but Mac has gone around, and the caution is in fact out. Are you kidding me? One of the dominant drivers of the day has gone around and into the wall. That will definitely do a lot of terminal damage to that race car. Oh my goodness. Caution is back out. Garrett is the leader. Let's take a look at what happened.
Let's get a look what happens here. Mac in the top 10 looks to make the move into turn 3. I guess this misjudgment gets into the O2 and just loses it after making contact the O2. Hard hit into the wall, and that is probably going to end any chance at a good finish.
Yeah, Mac drove it in. The O2 of Peyton was there, and just some sort of misjudgment. We'll take another look. Here is the rear shot from Peyton. Just a big screw up on the 9's part. Peyton did nothing wrong, but one of the dominant drivers of the day will maybe be taken out of this race. We'll get back to the restart. We are back underway here at Phoenix here. Mac was able to stay on the lead lap, but pitted for damage. Little thing to point out real quick, Isolated 98, not dropped to the back of the field. He was supposed to get the free pass, but there was some scoring issue. NAPA Sim officials could not figure out the scoring issue. So Isolated still at the front of the field, but scored one lap down. So no free pass. We'll see. Isolated should drop to the back of the field and not be much of a problem. But we are back underway here. Garrett gets that left led, and here comes Mythical for the first time today, trying to maybe get a taste of the lead. Can't get there just yet. And SM under Dan for 4th. Dan will slide up the racetrack. SM won't take that spot. Dan might get the run off the high side, but Mythical is there, but can't make the move on Garrett just yet.
Yeah, and here's Cam deep set and try to get to that number, that 44. Mythical obviously looking for his first one in the Cup Series. Homestead racing won his title at, and well, he was close to that in Atlanta, but lost to Commander about 8 to go, and this would be still a great place to get that first win in the books, if that number 44, because that thing is expected to win this year.
It's been an odd start to Mythical's year. He's had great runs, but has not been able to get the deal done, and of course we all remember his issue at Texas that he had. His Isolated's going to get in the way a little bit. Stu still having a great run. Passing typical for, I believe, 12th. No, 11th. What a great run for him so far. Isolated, falling back through the field. But yeah, Mythical, it's been an interesting start to his year. Atlanta was definitely his best race by far this season. But Texas, of course, like I said, was one of those drivers that had to deal with that setup anomaly. Did not have a great day at all and is just trying to recover. And so far, he's having a great run here. And back here, it is a mess. Just like I said, these restarts are crazy. Everyone's trying to make their way forward. Commander held up behind the 98 of Isolated. It's been a rough day for Commander. We haven't really talked about him at all today. And is currently being held up by the 98, having a hard time far wide up ahead of him. Matthew and Wayside making a little bit of contact. And finally, I'm an Antioder up into the picture, making a few passes, but it has been an uncharacteristic start to this race. And 69 laps into this one, our points leader might not be the points leader after today because he has been struggling all race long, only running in the 22nd position.
Yep, there's have plenty of action here. Wayside getting past him, but he's tied. Chase a little slow as well. And, well, Anna Kate in the top 10 as well now, up to 8th. But she had a great restart.
Yeah, Anna Kate right up there with her teammate Peyton. Alberto's had an interesting run today. 2 drivers in the top 10. Peyton's been in the top 10 all race long, similar to Homestead, the way that Peyton's been up here all race long, Homestead last season. And only look a bit further back, I saw Matthew move into the picture. He's up into the top 20, having himself a decent run. And then Jacob, he's been around. That's all I'm going to say about him. But still, just a lot of drivers trying to make moves. Already Isolated, falling back into the grass with the back of the pack. Max just trying to... Oh, there was contact somewhere in the field. Debris somewhere in the field. Someone made contact with someone. I can't figure out who, but it seems it did not affect the battles in this group. No caution. Someone made contact with someone, though. I don't know who it was, but I'm an Antioder just trying to finally make a few moves. Commander's fallen outside the top 20. Discord Bot's been out of the top 20. Oh, I think it was Discord Bot that has that damage. You see... The right side of Discord Bot will get a shot, I think, right here. Look at the right side of Discord Bot's car. I think he was the one that had some contact off turn 4 a few laps ago. Not sure how that happened, but back to the battle for the lead. It's been a rough day for Discord Bot, but not for Garrett. He is currently in control of this one.
There's Dan now going back to P2 in the 44 Mythical. And he will... not clear. Mythical got the better entry, but Mythical went wide. I think Dan might have the spot here. He does.
And Cam still hanging on right there in the top 5. He's been in the top 10, I think, the top 5, literally every lap of this race. It has been an insane run for Cam. Can he close out the deal? Maybe. Running up here still has a good chance here. And SM has looked like the best Sunbelt car this season. He has had insane speed in every race this season. I mean, what a great performance for SM. You know, someone that the past few seasons has maybe been overlooked, you know, is maybe that 3rd or even 4th Sunbelt car driver. But right now, he's looking like the first Sunbelt driver because he has been on it all year long. And Mythical right there as well. These two, if they keep it up, these two are going to be fighting all year long about who's going to be the best Sunbelt car. Both of these two have been putting up insane numbers to start this season. Cam tried to get under Dan for 3rd, couldn't get in. Mythical back up in the 2nd.
Yeah, Garrett's done a good job of holding this lead now for quite a little bit here. And like I said, he's the defending winner here. Another win would be great. SM to the inside of Cam. Bot has caught this group.
Yeah, Bot, first time we've actually talked about him today. He's been around, but just hasn't really been a top 10 threat. But here he comes now. 76 laps into this one and just now actually showing some speed. Big move from Cam. He's going to put a defensive move on SM to stay in 4th. Garrett, though, kind of all race long, kind of holding a decent gap, but not a big enough gap to really keep that lead. Dan doing a great job here, not burning many positions. Every time he loses one, he goes and gets it right back under Mythical. He'll have a bit of forward momentum. Cam had to get off the gas a little bit there. Dan to the bottom for 2nd. SM looks under.
As Peyton slash and then to the corner in the top 10. Internet's falling out of the top 10, but he's now looking to get back into it by tagging the number 23.
And again, I can't say enough about this 93 of Stu. What a great run all race long for this team. Simply a top 20 is a win, but he's been a top 15 threat all race long. Curious if he could crack into this top 10. Give himself a chance here to fight for a top 10. Pretty sure he got one in the 500, but trying to get another one here 4 races in and put himself up to a decent start to this season. And again, the two Alberta drivers right now, Peyton and Annika, they've been up here for quite a bit. Peyton since the start, but Annika took her until about halfway to actually show her face and quietly having a great top 10 run so far.
Another battling here. This Corbin now taking it 3 wide on Ty and Commander. Interesting choice there. It's not going to pan out. It's like...
And not able to work out here. This is still on the back half of the top 20. Rough day for Commander. Has not been like himself today. But of course he has 2 wins. Nothing to worry about. But wanted to keep that momentum up and just hasn't been able to do it. Mike, kind of on the fringes of a top 20 run as well. Shockingly enough, this might be his worst run of the season so far, despite still being right around the top 20. Mike has had an amazing start to this season for his Cup campaign and running right around the top 20, top 25. Still a great day for him. And racing around drivers like Dylan, Discord Bot, Ty, who've had great starts to their year, but not today. It's been a rough going for these 3 Commanders. Well, I'm an Antioder. Few drivers that might just not have a great short track program, and you're seeing it so far. JJO now looking under Jacob.
JJO in that 26 now. As we've seen, the replacement for Nex, not the first time he's replaced Nex, he obviously got him a win in season 2, but they're going to see what JJO can do, with this machine. I don't think he's had too terrible a start to the year. Yeah, JJO's got a top 20. Oh, car around Montana.
Yeah, Montana goes around in the 45. Had a good avoidance earlier in the race, but goes around. And the caution is out. Right in front of our cameras, Montana's going to go around here. Got turned off of, might have been the 83 or the 89. I think it was a blue car. But around goes Montana. Brings out the 3rd caution. Garrett will lead him back to the line. Let's figure out what happened.
Dude, after bringing a quick caution for a spin, here in the back, Avery just hooks the 45. Not the first kind of, inexperienced mistake we've seen that 83 made today. And, well, the next mistake of Avery brings out the caution.
I'm curious how NAPA Sim officials are going to play this. Avery was the first car scored 1 lap down, but will he be classified as involved in the accident with Montana? We will see. Quickie yellow. NAPA Sim officials only wasted a few laps. Avery will get the free pass. Garrett, Dan, Mythical, SM, Bot. The top 5. Back into the restart we go.
Take a huge jump there on the start by that 15 and Cam trying to get the inside of 40, the 15 of Mythical. The 15 got to get to 40 and 44. Can't do it. Cam with the off corner. Now that opens the door for Peyton to get potentially up to P6.
Just can't carry the momentum off Eggs. We've seen that high line just not be good in 3 and 4. Still a great run though. How about Slash into the top 10? 3 drivers all here in this little group right here that need a top 10, and all 3 of them are doing it. Great run from Slash. Annika did not have a good 1 and 2. She'll lose a bit of time, and then the clutches of dexterity, typical. And here comes Matthew moving forward in the 62. Stu's still having a great run, but Matthew moving forward in the 62. Alberta Motorsports making a run here at the end of this one. Wayside now under him 3 wide.
See now Dan outing that bad bumper, and Garrett has been able to make a move for quite a while. Typical way up the track. He's going to lose several spots. Now definitely also dropped out of the top 10 if he wasn't in it, out of it already.
Yeah, he was already out of the top 10. Honestly, Uncharacteristic for Typical. I understand the road course sort of thing, but this has been a bit of an uncharacteristic day for Typical. He has not seen the lead, if I remember correctly, and has now fallen out of the top 10, almost out of the top 15. Kind of fading a little bit late. Typical Commander, two drivers that you expect week in and week out to be competitors for this win. Neither of them have shown that speed today. Commander back here and Typical fading back now. Matthews, Stu, Ty, what a group of three here. Throw having Davis Jr. into the mix as well. All four of them inside the top 20. Great runs for most of them. Ty, this has actually been kind of an uncharacteristic day for him, but still, for what this team asked for him, top 20s are great so far for him, and outrunning almost all of his teammates. The only one in front of him is Internet, who's been the only one that's actually had speed for this team today. He's now fallen out of the top 10. Wayside drives under him. Internet will cover.
There's already single file out. It's not staying nearly as bunched and chaotic as it was the last few restarts, which is an interesting thing to note.
Yeah, Garrett's held that lead for a while now. He has held this lead since even before the last caution. He's got around 20, 25 laps under his belt. Can he hang on till the end, though? Dan continues to just patiently lurk, and everyone in the garage knows that this is what Dan does. I don't think that this is something that Dan just can't get to him. I think this is planned. I think Dan knows, hey, we're going to come alive at the end of this run, see if we can steal this win. Dan is famously known for doing this, and he's doing it again, right on Garrett's back bumper. How early will he plan to make the move if he can? Here comes Bot looking for third under SM, having himself a great second half of this race.
Yeah, Bot had it back in before, though, and SM will clear him.
Now Dexterity back to the bottom of the Alberto drivers. Gets by Anike. Not Peyton though. Anike will drive it in. Can't carry the momentum there. FXN outside of the top 10. He's still had a decent run though. Fading back just a little bit though. Wayside Typical, and again, Riley Davis Jr., all drivers right around the top 15. It was scattered all over the place, third on back. But these two are running away. I think that long run speed, the later portion of this race, it's coming in. These two are the ones that are actually starting to form a gap now. These drivers got to figure it out quickly, or else it might be a two-man fight to the end.
You know, with the FXN, the consistency we saw at the back end of the second half of last season, it seems like it's just completely gone away. I mean, his closest season are a 39th and a DNF, a 30th and a 9th, and that's just very uncharacteristic of this guy's standards. So I think for him to get back on the right track, that consistency is going to have to reappear.
I mean, it's only the fourth race of the season. You gotta just let things play out. Had a good qualifying effort, got a few laps led, but outside of the top 10, chilling in 11th. Not an awful day, but still, it's been a rough start to his season. I'm sure a top 10 is definitely what he wants, another one. But there are a few drivers that definitely want it more than him, like Wayside, Typical, Matthew even. Gotta hang on here, but Mythical has faded back as well. Dexterity has gone by Mythical. SM continuing to prove the narrative. What a great run he's having. Dexterity up into the picture, and Slash looking to get into the top 5. Slash up into the 5th. Any doubters that people had about him early in the season, he's trying to prove these guys wrong. Up into the 5th position here. Slash having himself a great run.
Interesting. Now I'm trying to get my camera fixed there, trying to make his way up to P6, maybe up to P5, trying to get by that 39, but we'll see. Dexterity's kind of had a quiet day for the most part. He's starting to come alive here in this half of the race.
Mythical running an 8th. And here comes Anike looking to make a move under Mythical. How about Anike? Great move here. Late in this race, might be out of win contention, but not out of contention to get a top 10. And she's trying to solidify that more by making a pass on Mythical to his outside. To his inside, my mistake. But Mythical will hang on, keep that spot. Now Peyton has a run, will drive under Anike. But as I talked about, these two have ran away. Bot is hanging on enough, but these two are definitely running away. I'm not sure if we'll see lap traffic, but these two are looking like the two that are going to battle it out to the end here unless we get another caution.
Yeah, or something like Bobcats definitely be those two. We saw some 2x2 happening, but things have simmered down.
Wayside High Seas ran all race long. An uncharacteristic day for him as well, I guess. Like I said earlier, first short track of the season. Some drivers have not gotten their short track package down yet. Gotta do it soon because we're heading to a slew of short tracks here in a little bit. Great run for the rookie Riley Davis Jr. Still running really well in 14th. He has proved his worth in this Cup Series early on in this season and needs to keep it going. But a top 15 runs for this rookie, especially someone that has not been to this racetrack many times at all. Great run for him. Matthew will try and drive under him for 14th. While all that's happening, Garrett and Dan run away, still 1-2, but back here it is a mess, all right outside the top 10. These drivers know that a top 10 is still a possibility. They need to go at it now before the end of this one.
I see Garrett starting to build a gap here on Dan in these last few laps.
Point two. It's been about even. Now is where I would think if you're Dan, this is where now you need to go for it. This is what he does every single race. Every single time he's in this position, he always does this. But Garrett, another veteran in the sport, he's aware of this. Can he play defense? Dan, though, has a great run off turn 4. That's the best corner he's had this run. But Garrett was able to counter enough to hold the lead. Dan, though, right on his back bumper with 6 laps to go. Bott and Slash trying to close in. 3 wide behind him. And AK trying to clear both the Sunbelt drivers. Can't get it done.
Yeah. We have seen, obviously, these finishes come down to the last lap and someone ends up getting dubbed. We're going to see another case. Dan to the inside of Garrett here. We have 6 to go. Dan to the inside of Garrett. Can he get the lead here? 1 and 2. Side by side still. I think Dan got the edge there. And now down the straightaway. Down the back straightaway. Still side by side here. Entering 3 and 4. Still side by side. Dan has not cleared that 51. And Dan now has the lead here with 5 to go. But Garrett is not giving up on the outside. What a run there in the dog leg. In the 1 and 2, yet again, still side by side, and Dan's gonna finally clear him.
Yeah, Dan gets that top spot. Those few laps of battling has brought Bott into the mix, but now they're back single file. Can Bott hang on now that these two are back single file? But when they were side by side, Bott and Slash were both closing in. The gap is 0.6. Now up to 0.7 with 3 laps to go. Garrett back to the bottom under Dan. Can he do the same thing Dan did to him? Gotta have a good run here. He holds it. Down the back straightaway with 3 laps to go.
Good run for Dan off the exit of 3. Garrett's gonna dive it into the 3 and 4.
Oh man. I think Dan will edge him out at the line.
Dan got the lap, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And now the dog leg here in the 1 and 2, still side by side, but now Bott and Slash are battling each other for that P3 position. And these two still battling it side by side. Down the straightaway into 3 and 4. Coming to the white flag here in Phoenix.
Oh boy.
Dan, big run to the 3 and 4. White flag in Phoenix.
This might be an all-time classic finish at Phoenix with a bunch of veterans up in the top 5. Garrett under him again. What can Slash do if he clears by? I don't think he will. Slash drives up in front of Bott, but that might have given away his momentum to go for the win in the 3 and 4. Garrett drives it in. Coming to the finish line. Side by side, it'll be a photo finish. Give it to Dan at Phoenix. What a finish. As they race to the line behind him. Oh, wow. What a battle that was. Give it to Dan at Phoenix. What an amazing race for him. Wow. Let's take a look at the finishing results. What a race here at Phoenix. A photo finish. Dan will ek out Garrett at the line and Bott will hang on for 3rd. Let's take a look at the finishing results here. Of course, Dan comes home with the win. Garrett 2nd, Bott 3rd, Slash 4th, SM 5th. What an amazing showing it's been all year for him. SM should be the points leader. I'm not 100% sure, but SM, I have a feeling, will be the new points leader. Mythical comes home 6th. Cam 7th. How about Anna Kate? 8th place for her. Peyton 9th. Dexterity will round out the top 10. Few other drivers throughout the field. FXN Typical 11th and 12th. Riley Davis Jr., the rookie, comes home 15th. Matthew 17th. Ty, Dylan, Iman Antioder, the top 20 there. Stu fell out of the top 20, comes home 21st, but still a great day for him. And uncharacteristic days for drivers like Discord Bon Kermit. They finished in the back half of the top 20. And then to the later portions of the field, Sub NASCAR keeps his top 30 streak alive. And of course, Mac, after getting involved in that accident, he will fade to a 33rd place finish. Led some laps, won the pole, but still a bittersweet ending to what could have been a top 5, top 10 race for him. But maybe he's got some momentum going heading into the other races in this West Coast stretch. And of course, the drivers that were not able to finish this race, Junior, Meme, and NASCAR Sim. And after 110 laps, that is the margin of finish. What a race here. Well, we got 2 more races of the West Coast stretch. We head to Las Vegas, then we head to Auto Club. Those are the next 2 races on our schedule, but 4 races down in the Cup Series, 3 winners, and they have all been Chevrolets. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the race at Phoenix. What a race, what a finish here at Phoenix. And for all you guys watching, hope you guys all enjoyed, and we will see you next week at Vegas.